The Square Ball Podcast.
Welcome to the show, brought to you with Levi Solicitors. There is a 10% discount on your legal fees at levisolicitors.co.uk/the Square Ball. Dan here, along with Michael Normanton and Rob Conlon. Here we're going to preview Forest then. So many signings. I mean, where do we even start with this?
Where do you start?
It's become a standing joke. They've gone absolutely mental, haven't they? It's Monday night, 8 o'clock, so no game over the weekend. What are you going to do with yourself?
I'm going up to Northumberland, actually. See some friends. It's nice, isn't it?
You got friends?
You got friends outside Buzz?
Oh, yeah, kind of a big deal.
What will you be doing, Rob?
I'm not sure. It's a nice free weekend. I was writing about it on the blog, how when the rugby league season overlaps with the football season, you kind of have your weekend ruined by two Leeds teams. But the Rhinos are playing on Friday night in the playoffs, so they'll probably be knocked out by then, which means I can have a nice stress-free weekend, I think.
You just spend the weekend getting over the misery before it brings us back round to Monday. We'll be all right. We'll win on Monday. New mid-table Leeds United beating these Johnny-come-lately promoted teams. Pa!
Okay.
What have you made of Forest so far? Have you seen any of the games that they've been on telly or anything?
Only match of the day stuff. I've mainly just been marvelling at their transfer business.
Their entire new squad. 21 signings, which is a record, I think, isn't it? A British record.
I don't even think we did this when we were kind of relegated from the Premier League and we're really scratching around trying to find, get a squad together, having sold everyone. It's remarkable what they've done. It might work. I think they've signed some quite good players in there. It's just trying to blend them all together at the very last minute. Seems like a bit of a risk.
Yeah.
Seeing them lose 3-2 to Bournemouth, that's kind of if you're chalking up much as we are, I guess for this one, if you're chalking up where your points are going to come from for survival, Bournemouth at home,
2-0 up.
2-0 up. That's definitely 3 points at that point, you're saying. And much like we need to beat Forest on Monday. Because if we don't beat Forest, things will start getting a little bit tetchy. Even though it won't drag us into the relegation zone or anything, it's a relegation sort of thing to do.
I suppose
it's losing at home to Forest.
No, you're right.
You look at, the thing that kept us up last season really was we beat these crap teams. You do want to, we need to get, well, we don't need to get a win, but we should get a win here, I think. But but I was going to say, Forest fans are going to jump on you saying crap teams, but the natural order of things, as we found out last season, is if when you come up, it's bloody hard work, and it can be really hard work even in your second season, even if you make the first season look comfortable. It looks like they're going to be somewhere in that mix, doesn't it, because of what they've done so far. There are loads of crap teams in the Premier League. We were one of them last season, but you've just got to beat the ones below you. They've signed 3 left-backs, which feels like they're taking the piss out of us a little bit, because I didn't think that was possible.
Can we get one on loan? Just borrow, lend us one. Go on, for a bit. Yeah. They do pass the first sticker book test, don't they, in terms of people we're allowed in the Premier League? Because obviously we said Brentford shouldn't really be allowed in. Forest, fine, they're in as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
First time we played them this millennium in the Premier League. Wow. Imagine that.
I used to, I went to uni in Nottingham and I used to work in the club shop, sort of under the radar. And
you absolute
I know, yeah. I wasn't there very long, but they really hate us as well. It was funny because I'd be serving people on the till and they'd come up and chat to me about Nottingham Forest. And I was like, I don't care, mate, I'm a Leeds fan. And you could see them just the shock on their faces.
Well, now I know that's possible, I'm going to head straight over to the Leeds shop and carry out some interrogations.
Get a scrum. Who do you support?
Pictures of Mark Beanie. Who's this? Tell me who it is.
They've probably still got pictures of Mark Beanie in the shop, so they should know.
That's true.
We would occasionally have to print the players' names on the shirt for like the match worn shirts, and I think Andy Reid was indeed an extra large. That's all I remember.
I was looking back actually to the last time we played Forest in the Premier League and some of the players that were involved in it. Callum Palmer played for Nottingham Forest.
Did he really?
In those days, yes. As did future Leeds legend Dougie Freedman was also in that team.
Oh, wow. I didn't even realise Palmer had gone to Forest.
So we won 3-1 in that game. So the Premier League form is with us.
Right, yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Just got to keep that going, haven't we?
That was a comfortable home win. And if Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank, Ian Hart and Alan Smith can score again, absolutely fine. Just be careful. Richard Gough, I suspect, is too old to be playing still, given he was about 40 even at that point.
Let's find out how old he is right now. I was just going to say what I like about this fixture is something you touched on there about you want the Premier League to be what it was when you were a kid, like when you were 13. Richard Gough, Welsh footballer? No, sure.
Scottish.
I know it's Welsh, a different one. He's currently age 60.
Right, probably going to be a bit of a stretch for him then.
Yeah. Born in Stockholm, no less. That's exciting, isn't it? Yeah, I was going to say it's a fun fixture, is this one, because we've got a chance of getting something out of it for a start. But it's Forest; they'll travel well, they'll probably sing well because they're going to be looking forward to this game because they hate us. There's a bit of needle there, all centred around historical stuff, isn't there? Be it Miners or Brian Clough or whatever.
Yeah, the Miners strike, to be clear. Is what you mean.
Yeah,
is what you
probably worth clarifying.
What you mean there for any new listeners who maybe don't know the history of industrial disputes.
I'm just looking down their squad at all the players they have brought in. Dean Henderson, obviously, they're starting at the back. Morgan Gibbs-White, the biggest one. That's a lot of money, isn't it?
Yeah, that was one of those ones where you went, didn't we get that for Calvin Phillips, who's an England international? Anyway, never mind. All's well. A lot of money there.
They've even signed Lewis O'Brien just to spite us, albeit. I think the only clip I've seen of O'Brien on Match of the Day so far, he sort of got the ball and just kind of collapsed to the floor, and then the opposition scored, I think. So
they got Wayne Hennessy as well as another keeper.
The one who did the Nazi salute, but didn't know about the Nazis.
Never heard of them.
Was his defence? He was like, don't know.
But then they've done the classic.
What you're telling me sounds bad.
Yeah,
I'll be honest, but I never heard of him before. So
and they've done the classic Liverpool tax thing of paying 16 million for Nico Williams.
Do you want me to run through their strengths according to whoscored.com?
Please do.
There you go. Done.
None.
But
then again, whoscored.com said that Dan James had no significant strengths, and then we know that's not right.
Do we?
Yeah.
Okay.
Tolerance, fortitude.
Yeah, okay, yeah. But being in the wrong place at the wrong time is Dan James's strength, isn't it, really?
Who's the left back these lot have just signed on loan from Atletico?
Lodi, is it Renan Lodi or something like that? But then
we should have had him. I don't know much about him except that my son Sam signs him on FIFA and he's good, so we should have done that. Well,
Forest are bad at, very weak at protecting the lead and avoiding fouling in dangerous areas.
Right.
They're then weak at scoring finishing chances, avoiding individual errors, defending counter-attacks, defending set pieces, defending down the wings, defending against long shots, defending against through balls, defending against skillful players. So football.
I mean, they got absolutely schooled by Lewis Cook in the second half against Bournemouth. So, I mean, he's been injured for most of the last 5 years, it feels like. So, Adams and Rocker, come on now.
Yeah. I want to see us go into a game and dominate the opposition. I think it'll make me feel better about the state of play at Leeds, because you do start to get all wobbly and angsty, don't you, off the back of a defeat like we endured at Brentford. Just to go into this and just a routine win would be lovely.
Yeah, I think it is must win, I would say, is this, because, and particularly the time we're playing them at, we're fortunate that they won't have had any time to settle yet. I can see maybe after Christmas they might get the shit together a bit and actually know each other's names and stuff like that.
Yeah, because the international break for the World Cup is going to favour them, isn't it? It's going to give them time to kind of actually get together. And even then, it's still a task, isn't it, to put that many new bodies together?
Yeah, I think panic might kick in a little bit if we lose this. A draw wouldn't be a disaster, I suppose, but I feel like we really need to win this.
Yeah, well, if you look at the Premier League as you need to get 9 wins plus some draws, let's call it 10, just to be safe. 10 wins, these lot at home in their current state, and their record so far suggests they've not yet got it together. It's got to be, hasn't it? As you say, that's not to say that we will go in there and it'll be a routine home win, but it should be a home win.
I also feel unqualified to really say how good they are, because I don't know several of these players are who they're signed, like Remo Frula, Musa Niakate, Tayo Awoniyi. I mean, I don't know who these people are. They might be brilliant. Oral Mangala.
I don't even think we've actually been able to fit the whole list of signings on. I think there's only 18 or 19
Yeah, they
here.
seem to, even though it was from an article called The 21 Players They've Signed, they've not put 21 players on this list. So I couldn't be bothered to do the research to find the extras. There's loads.
They've got a lot of players in their squad. Good God. I'm just looking through their squad list. It goes on for pages. I wonder with Forest, I've been chatting to someone who's got a Forest pal and saying, I wonder at what point Forest will start to hate the Premier League when the fun kind of wears off. You know, the novelty aspect of being in there will wear off. Because it's a grind, isn't it, a lot of the time, particularly as a new club. I mean, I'm looking at their record so far. They opened with a routine defeat to Newcastle.
They didn't, did they?
Yeah.
I thought they won on the opening. I thought they won their opening game.
No, they didn't. Wrong. And then they came back to the City ground and beat
first home game it was.
Beat West Ham 1-0, which they should have lost, basically.
Yeah, they got battered in that, more or less.
Drew with Everton, and then 3 defeats on the bounce: Spurs, Man City, and then Bournemouth.
I mean, Spurs and Man City you can write off, can't you? I mean, I'd do it this year and we're into our third season in the Premier League. I would go, fine, whatever. There's almost no shame in losing 6-0 to Man City. Fine.
Yeah, they've conceded 14 goals. Obviously, that Man City game has coloured that somewhat, but even 3 at home to Bournemouth.
But the Bournemouth one is the bad one because Bournemouth are dire. And as Scott Parker said, I've got a load of shit players. I mean, I'm paraphrasing there, but that was more or less what he said. How on earth are going to keep this load of dickheads up?
I think what we're skirting around here is that this is a should win. Michael, you're framing it as a must win. I was joking with Phil Hay about this, saying
it must win. Obviously, isn't correct because if we don't win, we'll still be outside of the relegation zone with
but if we don't
many games to play.
But if we don't win, it looks bad.
Yeah, I've penciled this down as a win in my head, so I want it to be.
And that's about the size of it.
I wouldn't look forward to next week if we don't win, because it's going to be one of... I mean, we've seen the reaction to this weekend, which is understandable, but you think, Christ, if you follow that up with not beating Forest, people probably will lose their shit a little bit.
And I assume, if fit, we will be seeing Liam Cooper return.
You would hope so, wouldn't you? Yeah,
you would think, surely, he will play. Or we'll have to reshuffle things in a way that Llorente doesn't, because I feel like it's a game that has, as you were saying earlier about taking Llorente out of the firing line, it's a game that has the potential, if he fucks something up, even if they don't score from it, if he does something daft in the first 5 minutes, everyone will go, fucking hell, get him off. And it'll just create a really horrible atmosphere around the place.
It doesn't even have to be a big mistake either, does it? Just a bit of miscontrol or give the ball away.
Or a bit more skipping over the ball.
Yeah, I mean, that wouldn't be great.
Yeah, take him out. Not permanently, that would be rude. But yeah, put Cooper. If Cooper can play, put him in.
Yeah, I think he will.
Especially if there's a game that, that if Cooper needs to kind of ease himself back into the Premier League, you'd rather it was Nottingham Forest at home than going to Old Trafford, 6 days later, wouldn't you?
Yeah, true.
I like the idea of Ayling hopefully coming back into the team as well.
Yeah, if his nose is up to it. I don't know what the treatment is for that. I mean, obviously he was able to play on with it in the state it was in.
Reset it, don't you?
But doesn't it take a while to sort of stick?
Is he going to wear one of those masks?
That'd be good.
For bionic Ayling.
That would be great, wouldn't it? Feel like a superhero. Okay, so dare we call it as a home win, or do we just want to frame it as a should win and probably need to?
Yeah, we'll win.
Okay.
Does that make you feel uncomfortable, Michael?
No, it's fine. I thought we'd beat Everton as well, truthfully.
It's still early in the season. I'm trying my best not to be too stressed out by it all.
Well, we've got the new Premier League's new breakout star in Luis Sinisterra. He's going to score again.
That's true. He's been fun to watch, hasn't he?
And I think young Brendan's had a couple of kind of just not below par games, but he's not stood out. It's time for him to shine again.
And Bamford might be fit to start this one as well. I know
and he'll be itching to play because it's his club, isn't it? His Forest.
It is, of course. So yeah, he's had a couple of sub appearances without injury, hasn't he? So he must be edging close to at least a full half.
Good. Looking forward to his injury then, Michael. Thank you. That's part 2 done and dusted. Then we will do heroes and villains as well. Part 3 of the show on the way for you in a bit. Stick about.
The Square Ball Podcast.